Hi there, Dr. Brian here. What is the king of exercises? Do you know? What would you consider would be the best exercise if you could only do one exercise in the gym? And what would a benefit be of the king of exercises? Hi there, Dr. Brian here, and it's Thursday and I'm apologising for being off the air for about a month. And while I was in the gym doing the king of exercises, it occurred to me that there was subscribers who I was letting down by not staying in touch with them, so here I am, and I apologise. So we get back on track and we'll keep the conversation going. So what's the king of exercises? The king of exercises is the deadlift. The squat is also classed in the same category. However, the deadlift is probably an exercise that does more for the whole of your body in one fell swoop. So some of you know what it is and some of you don't, and when I tell you what it is, some will think it's a terrible thing. Anyhow, you've got the weight on a bar, sitting on the floor. You're going to bend your knees, drop your hips, keep your back completely flat, and you're going to stand with your feet right up to the bar, and then you're going to stand up, keeping your back flat, pushing your legs into the ground. So you're using your legs and your hips to stand up, and then you're standing up with your shoulders over your feet, and then you put it down again. And you might do that a number of times. You should do it a number of times. And what that does is it actually strengthens your whole body. So from top to toe, it's engaging everything from your shoulders to your feet. So it's doing everything at once in your body. It's creating core stability, it's creating proprioceptive, so feedback from the joints to the brain. It's working with leg strength, hip strength, back strength, arm strength and shoulder strength. And what it does is it gives you a focus on all the muscles that you need for moving well. So it's going to give you good power to walk up hills, get out of chairs, lift things, basically to be functional, and it does require balance. So a very simple but quite a precise exercise. If it's done incorrectly, you can hurt yourself. So if you were going to start doing the deadlift, you would potentially want some coaching. You'd want someone to watch you while you did it, so you weren't training a bad movement that would become your normal movement, and that would mean you'd be training to create an injury, which we don't want. But when we're looking at creating a functional body in the 21st century, we actually need to go back and do some things that we don't do anymore in our normal day. And that those normal things that we might do in a day in a previous era that involved more motion and more movement and more physical movement, we sometimes have to, if you like, cheat and replicate those through an exercise program, because the body's still the body and it loves certain types of movement because they're good for the joints and the brain. So what does it do for you apart from the obvious? It's going to give you more balance, more strength, it's going to create power in the body, and it's also going to keep the bones strong, the ligaments strong, and it will keep you flexible, because to do this exercise properly, you're dropping into quite a low position with the hips. The knees are really quite bent. Your feet are under your sort of quite under your shoulders. So you have to keep your centre of gravity, but you want to rock back onto your heels, and then as you push your feet into the floor and drive your feet down, your body will rise as you contract the hips, the quads, the thigh muscles and the back of the thighs, the low back and the hips around the muscles around the hips. So really a magnificent movement that's so good for you. I will put a little clip on this that you can play and look at and see what a good deadlift should look like. Okay, that's it for today. It's an unusual, because I've just decided to give you a tip that will help you do better. You could do this at home almost with body weight, but I'd probably, as an alternative, I'd just do a body weight squat, and that would be a great alternate to a deadlift if you didn't have anything else to do. and that will be really good for your function and keep you feeling young for longer. Okay, all the best. Ciao.